What is the ultimate product of human civilization? Is it our economies, our art, our technologies? Or is it the quality of our daily lives and the purpose we find within them? We stand at a crossroads, presented with three envelopes. Each contains a different vision for the year 2035, a different answer to that fundamental question. These aren't just forecasts of economic output or technological capability. They are blueprints for the human soul in the 21st century. They ask, in a world where artificial intelligence can perform more and more of what we once called work, what becomes of us? Welcome to Future Vision Talks. I'm Jordan. Today, we're embarking on a deep philosophical journey into the future of work. We will move beyond the surface-level discussions of productivity and job markets to explore the three core scenarios for our future: the augmented world, the stalled revolution, and the replacement world. Each of these paths represents a different human protocol, a different set of choices about what we value, who holds power, and what it means to live a meaningful life. This is not just an economic analysis. It is an exploration of human dignity, purpose, and the architecture of a society we are building, often without conscious intention. Let's open the envelopes. The first envelope reveals a future of partnership. This is the augmented world, a future where AI serves as a powerful extension of human will and intellect, taking over tedious tasks and freeing us to pursue our highest potentials. In this world, the value of human effort shifts. We move from a culture of labor, performing repetitive tasks for a wage, to a culture of craftsmanship, applying deep focus, creativity, and nuanced judgment to problems that matter. As Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, reflects, even with models that feel smarter than him, his day-to-day life hasn't been upended. Instead, he can work a lot more effectively. The augmented world seeks to generalize this feeling, not by making humans obsolete, but by elevating the nature of their work. The value of raw intellectual horsepower may diminish, shifting towards what Altman calls figuring out what questions to ask. This is a profound philosophical move. It positions humanity as the authors of the narrative, with AI as a powerful tool for exploring the stories we conceive. With AI handling administrative burdens, the standard work week could shrink to 30 or even 20 hours. This presents us with one of the most significant philosophical challenges of this scenario. What is time for? The good life would no longer be defined by professional achievement alone, but by the quality of one's role as a dedicated parent, an artist, a learner, or an active citizen. The goal of technology becomes the expansion of what economist Juliet Schor calls time affluence, the feeling of having sufficient time to live a fulfilling life. However, this future is not a default outcome of technological progress. It is a political and ethical achievement. It requires a conscious decision to use productivity gains to grant people more time, rather than simply demanding more output. Without strong policies like a right to disconnect or a shorter standard workweek, the same AI tools designed to liberate us could become instruments of surveillance and burnout. Furthermore, as education shifts from rote memorization to nurturing creative and critical thinking, we risk creating a new inequality gap between those educated for this new world and those left behind. In essence, the augmented world is a future that asks us to be wise stewards of abundance. It is the most hopeful path, but it demands that we consciously choose human flourishing over mere efficiency. The second envelope reveals a muddled, frustrating middle path. This is the stalled revolution, a future where AI's capabilities plateau just high enough to disrupt the job market, but not high enough to generate widespread prosperity. It's a world of friction, where the promise of AI curdles into a tool for inequality and anxiety. Here, AI is just smart enough to be disruptive, but not reliable enough to be truly transformative. It creates an efficiency trap, where employer expectations for output soar, but the technology still requires constant human oversight, correction, and effort. The result is not liberation from toil, but its intensification. As one survey of 10,000 workers found, while 81% feel AI makes them more productive, the crucial question is where that extra value flows, and the evidence suggests it accrues to investors, not workers. This perpetuates a decades-long trend of productivity growth decoupling from wage growth. In this world, stable, full-time, white-collar jobs increasingly fracture into a patchwork of insecure, AI-managed gigs. This gigification of work breaks the traditional social contract that linked employment to security, pensions, and healthcare. We see the emergence of a precariat class, educated workers who are forced to juggle multiple AI-assisted jobs to make ends meet, often performing poorly at all of them due to the instability. This creates a hole in the middle of society, widening the gap between a disconnected elite and a struggling majority. Perhaps the most insidious philosophical damage occurs in the realm of education and the mind. If schools respond to AI with denial or simplistic bans, they risk creating a lazy brain effect, a generation that never develops foundational skills for deep, critical thought. As the original video transcript warns, this is the calculator in your pocket analogy all over again, but on a massive scale. When technology does our thinking for us, we risk what philosophers call de-skilling, losing the very capacities that define a competent, autonomous human. The stalled revolution, therefore, isn't just an economic failure, it's a crisis of human development. This future is the path of least resistance. It requires no great vision, only a continuation of our current trends toward inequality and short-term thinking. It is a warning that technological half-measures, devoid of a moral framework, can degrade the human spirit as surely as technological unemployment.
The third and final envelope contains our darkest potentiality. This is the replacement world, a future where AI advances so rapidly and is deployed so recklessly that it leads to mass unemployment and social collapse. This is not just a job crisis, it is a full-blown crisis of human purpose. This scenario begins with what has been starkly termed a white-collar bloodbath. AI doesn't just automate tasks, it automates entire roles. Junior lawyers, journalists, marketers, and mid-level managers at a pace far faster than new jobs can be created. The CEO of Anthropic has warned that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs, spiking unemployment to 10 to 20% in the short term. This creates a massive oversupply of educated labor, commodifying human work and driving wages down to subsistence levels. The most devastating philosophical consequence of this path is the potential emergence of what historian Yuval Noah Harari has called a useless class, a population for which the economy has no need either for labor or for consumption. The original video transcript paints a grim picture of a generation that never got the chance to enter the workforce and is still drowning in college debt. Widespread unemployment is directly correlated with a rise in depression and addiction, creating a public health crisis that further strains a crumbling social fabric. When people are stripped of their productive role in society, they are often stripped of their sense of dignity, agency, and self-worth. In this world, wealth and power concentrate in the hands of a tiny elite who own the AI systems. This concentration of economic power translates into absolute political power, leading to what the transcript describes as a plutocracy, a society governed by the wealthy. Policies are tailored to preserve elite wealth, tax breaks, anti-labor laws, and weak antitrust enforcement. The ultimate chilling outcome is the physical separation of this elite who retreat to secure enclaves or islands where riots can't reach them. This is a high-tech return to a feudal model, where a privileged few live in fortified castles served by machines, while the rest of humanity is left to scrap for survival in the ruins of the old world. The replacement world is a failure of governance and foresight. It is what happens when we allow technological capability to outpace our wisdom and our commitment to one another. It forces us to ask the most harrowing question of all. What is the value of a human being if the economy no longer has a place for them?
We have opened the three envelopes. We have seen the three possible protocols for our collective future. The critical insight from this exploration is that these are not predetermined fates. They are the consequences of choices we are making right now, in our boardrooms, in our legislatures, and in our classrooms. The augmented world requires us to be proactive, to enact policies that ensure the benefits of AI are shared, and to rebuild our educational systems around human potential. The stalled revolution is what happens when we are passive, when we let technological change happen to us, without a guiding vision for human dignity. The replacement world is what happens when we consciously prioritize profit and power over people. The late AI pioneer Yoshua Bengio spoke of a personal moment of awakening after ChatGPT's launch, asking, "What are we doing? What will happen if we build machines that understand language, have goals, and we don't control those goals?" This is the central question of our time. The future of work is inseparable from the future of meaning. The tools we are building today are not neutral. They embody the values and incentives of their creators. As Tristan Harris has powerfully argued, if we know the incentives, we can predict the outcome. Our task, then, is to collectively change the incentives, to shift the race from market dominance to human flourishing. We must choose which protocol to install: the protocol of symbiosis, the protocol of friction, or the protocol of obsolescence. The power is still in our hands, but we must act with wisdom, courage, and a profound commitment to the human spirit, before the systems we are building become too powerful to control. The envelope for our true destiny is still blank. It is waiting for us to write it. Thank you for watching and for being a part of this essential conversation.